The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
I don't know what it is. Ralph just won't pay any attention to me. When he comes home from work, all he ever does is play video games and go to sleep. It's like I don't even exist.
Oh, Betty, that's just awful.
Does this seem familiar? If the answer to this question is yes, then listen carefully. Toxic pesticides, GMO foods and additives, BPA plastics, contaminated water supplies. Many of these toxic additives are deliberately engineered to attack and weaken human masculinity. It's part of the eugenics population control movement. Look it up. If men are more interested in online gaming than they are in their wives, a serious population crisis is soon to follow. Energize the man in your life with Super Male Vitality from InfoWarsLife.com. It's designed to aid the body in ways that help invigorate your natural systems without artificial testosterone, completely free of GMOs, harmful additives, gluten, and is made right here in the USA. Get your Super Male Vitality right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 1-888-253-3139.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. It took me 20 years of searching the globe to find the deposit of the highest purity iodine available. The new Survival Shield X2 is mined from 7,000 to 10,000 feet below the earth in pristine, environmentally clean conditions. The iodine crystals we use are extracted from an ancient 300 million plus year old deposit deep in the earth. It's the strongest nascent iodine on the market today. It delivers 650 micrograms per drop. Experience the new formula. Experience the ancient purity. Shield your family. Survival Shield X2. Available now at InfoWarsLife.com.
X2 from InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139.
Waging war on corruption. It's Alex Jones.
All right, we're going to David Knight here in just a few minutes to get his take on the Justice Department's full rollout with local domestic spy units, you name it, looking for the terrorist. That means the ATF, back to the Clinton days, burying pipe bombs on your property and saying Alex Jones had pipe bombs. That's the standard deal that they did to literally hundreds of people back under Clinton. Or having one of their informants claim, yeah, I heard Alex at the bar. He was claiming he was going to, shoot the governor or something. Let's get one thing straight. I don't have any illegal weapons. I don't plan any offensive attacks against government. Never have, never will. I'm in the info war, but I will defend myself if attacked by anybody. And I have that natural right. But just last week, the ATF wants to ban tannerite. We have a shooting show we do occasionally for InfoWars Nightly News, and you can go to the store and buy tannerite. And might as well ban fireworks if you're going to ban that. I mean, the mortars you shoot out of a firework are probably 20 times more powerful explosively than tannerite. I know, I've played around with it, fireworks and tannerite on the shooting range on TV. And they're now trying to say that's terrorism and ban it. They want to make us the bad guys. They want to shift this whole bureaucracy onto us. That's what always happens in countries. That's what tyranny is government decides to just take over. via the special interests that are controlling it. And you can go to the report on Infowars.com where we have the quotes from the Justice Department's own website. And we have the new Department of Defense directive saying their main mission is fighting domestic groups, the Tea Party here in America. That came out last week in the Washington Times, Bill Gertz. So we also have Fox News and Napolitano doing a report on the FBI creates then foils 99 out of 100 terror plots. Even the New York Times had to admit 99 out of 100. And I want to give government credit. This only happens to me maybe once a year now. It used to happen at gas stations, at the shopping mall, at the grocery store, at any video signing event or any event I went to. They would have 2 or 3 different feds come up and say, hey, Alex, let's start killing feds. Let's start blowing stuff up. Come out in the parking lot. I've got a rocket launcher. And I would just say, you're obviously a fed or a federal informant. Hey, get a camera on this guy. And they go, hey, no big deal, Alex. See you later. Just making sure you're not planning anything. I mean, half the time they would admit they were feds. You know, guys would get on both sides of me on an elevator and go, want to attack the State Department today, Alex? We know how to attack it. And I'm just like, you know, 6'4" giant Marine Corps colonels. And I go, you guys are Marines, aren't you? I know that's who guards the State Department. Well, we do know people with State Department security. You better not plan anything. And I'm just like, you guys are really a joke. And I start taking photos of them. I mean, you know, that happened at Bilderberg in 2008 because Hillary and Obama were there, and they were hopping mad. This is at my hotel 3 miles away. I've got Marine Corps office. You know, I mean, it's just they were driving around flipping us off and stuff. Their underlings days later following us around. So I'd pull over and get out, and then they'd drive off. I mean, it's like, look, I haven't done anything. I'm a good guy. Just because you say I'm a bad guy and imagine I'm doing something wrong, that's not true. The globalists are the ones running this country into the ground that have hijacked it illegitimately. And I'll use the French analogy of the Vichy French who stood down to Hitler. You have to dig into the history books, but that's really a fact. The French just stood down, folks, because most of their general staff have been paid off. They were then made the oligarchs, the dictators of France. And if you guys want to sell out to this, you know, be my guest, you're going to be hung out to dry, and we're going to be opposing you. Your bosses will hang you out to dry from one angle, and we're going to be opposing you from the angle. Dishonor is not the way to go. And I know most people in the military, and the police for that matter, are not dishonorable. You're just compartmentalized. So that's why the globalists are having trouble executing all this, because they're up there on the news going, our new enemy is the Tea Party, and anyone who's an evangelical Christian may be court-martialed. That's Fox News with the Army manual last year saying, don't be part of the Tea Party or the evangelicals. You may be court-martialed. Obviously, the people saying and doing that are the bad people. I mean, this is a no-brainer. It's like the Simpsons episode where the aliens land. They have 2 big heads, and they're like, we have taken over your planet. Submit, and we will treat you nice, you know, like politicians. Or you can vote for Slore or for Gore. Or it's something like that. Maybe we can find the clip on YouTube. But I mean, if aliens landed and came out and said, we're your rulers, arrest Ron Paul, arrest Alex Jones, would you then say, yes, I'm for the aliens? Because the globalists are that alien to America, that alien to freedom, that openly authoritarian. Your children belong to us. Turn your guns in. Raising the debt does not raise the debt. 2 + 2 = 5. If you have a business, you didn't build it. We're going to teach your 5-year-olds that how 2 men French kiss. Everything is fine.
System. You'll have to vote for one of us.
He's right. This is a 2-party system.
Well, I believe I'll vote for a 3rd-party candidate.
Go ahead. Throw your vote away.
And again, if you're watching or on TV, you can see the aliens there, but at the podium and everybody deciding, well, we better vote for one. I mean, I actually think if aliens landed, had green skin, but walked out and said, you're racist if you don't give us your children's brains, there would be people that came out with meat cleavers, hacked their kids' heads open, pulled the brains out, and would run up under Stockholm Syndrome, giving the brains to the aliens. I'm not kidding. In fact, if the aliens were scary looking, they would do it even faster because they would, oh, let me appease you. And the aliens said, good. Your children's brains are delicious. Now we're going to melon ball yours. This is the mind control of the normalcy bias, the mass Stockholm Syndrome, the learned helplessness, whatever you want to call it. I personally am done with it. Now, David's got some big breaking news. We're getting up at Infowars.com. It's only at Drudge right now that I saw it, so we'll show that on screen in a moment when we get to it. But it's just par for the course, and we're going to break down the eugenics movement, medical experimentation on children currently going on. And this just broke. They've been covering it up since 2006. But before I go any further, the system is flipping everything now onto the American people. It's that simple. And they're announcing, yep, the Army's preparing for war against the American people. And it's the Tea Party gun owners veterans. Yes, we're going to set up local, rural, Homeland Security, military units to watch the farmers and to work with farmers to spy on each other. We should be spying on the criminal, illegitimate government. But again, people don't know about occupation. They don't know about collaborators. They don't know about infiltration. They don't know about corporate infiltration. They don't know about economic hitmen. The third world knows about this. We have been so free here for so long, we literally have no political immune system to this and are wide open, and it's happening. The good news is military brass were concerned and leaked this information to the Washington Times last week that we covered so much. And it's just the latest signpost. We already know that here. But the point is it's a debate is forming. And then now the Justice Department's out today, saying we need to target the American people. We're going to get that video clip and play it coming up in the next hour. So this is the reality. Now, before I shift gears into the culture of total experimentation, the culture of dehumanization with David Knight, prepare to hand the baton to him, and Paul Watson coming up for the next 2 hours, and a special guest that's also joining us from Europe with some breaking news and intel on Bilderberg and kind of the condensed final data or datum on that. I want to remind listeners that we have the very best products available, in my view, available at InfoWarsLife.com. And we have now the Super Female Vitality that sold out, but they had close to 1,000 bottles at the laboratory that they'd overrun for us, knowing we'd need more. And so after that's gone, we may not have any for upwards of a month. We've only done internal, tests with folks that have tried it. It's 10 different known concentrated organic herbs that are known to revitalize women, their glands, you name it, libido, energy. We've seen bigger response with women with this than we've seen with men with the Super Male Vitality, and the response has been excellent with that. You've heard the rave reviews from callers, unsolicited. And we thought women went bonkers good, happy when they did the Male Vitality. That's got 8 herbs. This has 2 more with the Female Vitality, Super Female Vitality. It's just that it affects women more. They go even more bonkers in a good way, bouncing off the walls in a good way from what we've seen with energy, you name it, when they do the Super Female Vitality. So try it, ladies and gentlemen, regardless you're funding the broadcast and what we're doing. And then we've got the new X2 Super iodine that comes from 7 to 10,000 feet in the ground. That's how deep the mine is. Purple, true iodine crystals. We know of no other supplier or manufacturer that has this source. And it took Grip years to get this source. You had to jump through a lot of DEA hoops to get this source. You can do a lot of stuff, obviously, with the raw iodine. And this is now in the glycerin tincture from palm oil of the highest quality, totally organic. And I forgot to bring a bottle with me on this 5-day trip. And Richard, will you ask them to overnight it to our next destination, a bottle of X2 immediately, please? I'm literally kicking myself since I left Sunday, wanting my X2. I brought my Super Male. I brought my Silver Bullet. I brought my Lung Cleanse. I did not bring X2. I thought I brought it from my house. We have X2. It will sell out, but it'll only be a few weeks till we get more X2. If you want the X2, get it. It's available right now at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, we've still got the original Survival Shield that's excellent. I think it's great for children. Consult your physician beforehand because it's a lot more palatable and not as strong. Regular iodine is bound. It's black. It stays black on paper. It's still something great, something you need, obviously, in my view, and what doctors and others have said, and even the government admits you need it. But the issue is this Survival Shield is more palatable and is not bound and turns blue on paper, not black. Now we have the bright red. You've never seen iodine like this. Bright red Alive X2 that then turns electric blue purple on paper. We've got a test of that, just showing people just the way it looks to the eye, why it's so different against leading competitors. I'm not even against leading competitors. I started out a few years ago trying to protect my thyroid and other things and taking the Lugol's